What exactly is the ego and what are the traps in the ego? Crazy stuff. This is going to be interesting. Before, I've experienced myself as consciousness without body and mind and stuff. It was so hard to grasp what ego actually is. Like ego is like, what is ego? But now it seems to me that it's just a continuous flow of information that I can observe, and like I have thoughts, or I can use to express myself. Okay? So, if you're not holding, of course you can hold things back. Like you don't have to say it. And there are appropriate things to say at appropriate times. There are appropriate circumstances, there are times when it's not appropriate to say something. But this can be a trap. What I mean, of course you can restrain yourself from acting, you can skip certain thoughts, you can skip to express or do certain things. And that's cool, okay? But here's the thing. If you are within a system, society, family, jobs, there may be an overwhelming condition of how you're supposed to behave. And then you create the neuroplasticity of not expressing certain tendencies or aspects. Like dancing naked in the forest. Okay? So this system that you inhabit may create a shadow conditioning. Okay? It's simply the habit of acting from accepted role play in the system that we're inhabiting will leave some aspects unexpressed. And those aspects then become dormant, and then sometimes this energetic impulse that wants to be circulated, be expressed in order so we can be fullness of ourselves, so we can express everythingness, authenticity, it will become dormant and even like a stuck energy, at which point becomes what is called the shadow of the ego, right? So something we're not expressing, we forget that we are completely. And then the shadow dynamic is when we see that in other people who are freely expressing that, we start to feel vulnerable or triggered. Because it will create the anxiety within this energy force that's, I want to do that. And then even the ego can create, oh, but I'm not that. I cannot be that. Because I simply don't even have a reference of myself saying that, doing that, behaving in that. And although now these other people exhibit freedom in expressing whatever they are expressing freely, right? I'm just looping my ego and I'm just like, this is not me. And I don't have the ability to do that. And maybe even these people are wrong for doing that because it's offensive. So that's the conditioning. Now you identify with the ego. You're not just letting that life force express itself uncensored. So the censorship becomes integrated. Okay? Now, you know that the rules don't apply of like how you show up in the office and then later you go get together with your buddies to have some beers and you're going like right? So societally we have different arrangements where we can express different parts of ourselves, but to be honest, it's best to try to take it lightly and express a little bit of that goofiness at work and a little bit of that professionality, seriousness when you're also playing, and a little bit of that sexiness. and a little bit of... Okay, so you have 12 main roles or archetypes. You can check out the Jungian nomenclature. I'm not sure if I can exactly account for all of them. They're also present in different nomenclatures. They're called the 12 archetypes, the 12 gods, the pantheon that lives on the mountain Olympus. And we mortal people will live here in the village, but on the mountain there are 12 gods. And one of them is party god, drinks wine. Ooh! Party. Party, party, party. One of them is Aphrodite, the goddess of health and beauty. And so on. So everybody possesses all of the qualities. And in the previous video, I've explained how these qualities might have been accentuated. Like you may have certain planets or archetypes a little bit dormant and others accentuated by your natal chart programming. Yeah. But you can override the natal chart programming. Check out my video, my previous video, if you're into that. I don't remember what it's called. You'll just have to go and browse all of my videos infinitely. Yeah, anyway. So the thing with integrating then this stream of information and being able to authentically express yourself through that, blah, 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 is what I'm doing here. I'm always kind of like making everything goofy. Because as you see the perspective on life through these 12 different vehicles, your relationship to life or any given theme or subject or concept will be different. If you are seeing something from the perspective of Mars, you'll be like, we need to change this, can't stand this. And Venus will be like, I'm enjoying this. I'm having really orgasmic time with this. And it's the same thing. Okay? So the time here, experience of time, will actually create a... What is this? It's not a roller coaster, but a little thing with horses. Ting, 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 carousel. Okay, so carousel of perspectives you will have on the same concept or thing that you are seeing through these different archetypal perspectives. Now, who are you? You're none of it. You're not Mars, you're not Venus, you're not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're not. So something happens with going around the clock, you know, just like putting something, like you put what's in the middle of the screen, my head, and then you go and see it from this angle. I'm like, nah, and so you will see it from every angle, every side, and you will have different corresponding reaction to whatever is in the middle, whatever you're looking. And then as the clock goes around, you will transcend all of these. Now with that, you're effectively transcending whatever you have thought was known to you or real to you. Okay? And this is why I say, with death, transcendence of every perspective, comes new life. Okay? 1 o'clock, full archetype. See it with baby, fresh, childlike eyes. Wow, this is really interesting. And then click, 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 click. You're almost like getting so tired of it, and then you want to sleep, and then you transcend it, and then the whole reality dies. And then click, 1 o'clock tomorrow. You're seeing it with brand new perspective, and then maturing that perspective throughout the wheel of archetypes, the carousel of archetypes. And then whatever you have actually concluded, whatever you have known, becomes obsolete. Therefore, there's always a fresh perspective, and therefore, whatever you have known yesterday it's kind of BS. It does not apply. You can build on it, okay? But you also need to free yourself from that. Otherwise, you get jammed up in the construct. So it's kind of, let's say, it's humbling when you start to realize this is what I came up with through the process of maturing and just seeing the clock go round and round, round and round, round and round, round and round. Like, whenever I'm like exactly the most confident and I know it, it starts to get obsolete. And then tomorrow, I'm an idiot and I don't really know. I don't really know anymore. So, the confidence is balanced with humility. The king is balanced with the fool. Okay? If you're overconfident, you're gonna get humbled. Curb your enthusiasm. Middle way. You know, as you're seeing everything from all perspectives, don't be identified with none of these. These are just like mental projections. Take a step away from your mind and see it from the middle, where all these arrays of perspectives are not necessarily something you double down on. Okay? You don't over-invest yourself to your mental gibberish because it's there just for fun. Yeah? All right. Peace out.